Hey y'all, my name is Eliza DeBall and welcome and thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you walk away with something that will bless your life. I have a very special guest, Dr. Jehane Draper. Hello, Dr. Jehane. We're going to have a conversation about vision. One of the biggest things that we focus on with Sisters Connect is making sure that women have the tools necessary to really live the life that God has for them. And what I've realized is that a lot of women, we do have the ideas, we have big vision, we have something there, but a lot of times we just don't know how to get there. So I invited Dr. Jehane to come on to chat with us because, I look at her like a specialist in vision planning. So I'm gonna, hush for a second and let you introduce yourself. Tell the ladies who you are and what you do.
Hello, ladies. How are you? I'm Jehane Draper. I'm here in Baton Rouge. I'm a barber stylist. I own the Loch Ness Barber and Beauty Shop, where I specialize in natural locks and cutting men's hair. I also I'm a teacher at church, and I also am a vision strategist, where I help people bring their visions to pass, where I teach vision board parties, vision frame fellowships, whatever you want to call them. I like to teach it from a biblical perspective. And that's about it. I live a quiet life, work, church, home. That's my life.
We're just going to jump right in. I have some, a few questions just to get your insight on. Why do you think it is important to plan your vision versus just having an idea, having a dream, but actually having a plan in place to see that through?
Well, first of all, it's important to write it down and to plan it, because it's kind of the way I explain it to people whenever I'm teaching the vision workshops is, let's just say if you have a bridal shower or a baby shower, you don't just invite the people. You actually sit down and you plan it out. You have everything set in place, from who's going to cook to who's going to take pictures, who's going to decorate. So that's why it's important to actually plan it, because when you actually write it down and you set your goals or you set your plans in place, then it gives you more of a visual to set in front of you, versus, sometimes we'll write it, but we don't actually plan it. You have to have a plan set in place. Let's just say when I opened up my shop, or when I got ready to buy my house, I had to sit down and calculate, plan down to the penny how much money I needed to make each month. I had to have a goal set in place. I had to have a plan in place, and how I was going to, my plan was, okay, how am I going to generate, or how am I going to generate these funds to meet the bills at the shop and to be able to pay a house note?
So what you're saying is a difference between a vision and a plan.
They go hand in hand. The vision, sometimes when we think about vision, we think about what it is that we see. We have to see it in our minds first. We have to see it in our imagination. Vision spiritually means divine revelation. What is it that has been revealed to us? The plan is more of the strategy.
The strategy, okay.
Bring it to pass.
Right. How about we say there's a lady that says, I don't have a vision. How do I connect to God to get the vision? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying, that God has a plan for our life. He has the vision for us. So then I'm assuming that we need to tap into his vision, and that's probably why there's a lot of people that are not reaching those goals, because that's not really what God wants for them, or they got it or they're going for it and then they're not happy with it.
Right.
And that's because it's not what God wants. So for someone who says, okay, what does God want? How do I tap in on the spiritual end? What would be the first basic steps you would give someone, especially someone who's not really very spiritual or deep in their word, who maybe is a baby believer in God, And it's like, how do I connect to what my purpose is?
I usually ask people what their passion is. That you have a passion for, because passion and purpose are connected. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, that's what your vision is connected to. What are your gifts? What are your talents? And the word also says that that where there is no vision, the people perish. So I've seen people, they do things and they go into a field just because they feel like it's very lucrative. That's not really their passion. And I've seen that so many times where people do that. They go through school and they finish school and they get the job. They have the career and they absolutely hate it. What is it that you're good at? Whatever it is that you're good at, pursue that.
And you know, I tell people too, even like through my coaching, take a piece of paper and just write down everything that you're interested in, like you said, and everything that you're good at. And a lot of times it's hard. I don't know why it's even harder for women to just write down positive things about themselves. But like, what am I good at? What have people bragged on about me, even if I don't see it in myself? Because a lot of times people see it in us before we see it in ourselves. You know, so what do people come to you for? What do they ask you about? You know, do they ask you for advice all the time? I did this workshop and they, the leader was like, can you call like the 5 people closest to you and ask them like, what are the top 3 things they think you're good at?
Right.
And I did that, and it was just surprising that everybody said the exact same thing. Like everybody said the same thing, but in different ways. And I was like, oh, like I knew I was good at that, but I didn't know you noticed. Like, or I knew that, you know, or maybe I didn't really realize how good I was in that. So that's something I would encourage as well. Like ask people around you, because a lot of times we don't even see the good in ourselves. Ask God, like he's waiting for you to ask him. You know, he created you, so he knows the blueprint and what he created you for. But we're also afraid to step out into it.
Yeah.
We're scared to step out into it, you know, or it's like, well, I might have to go back to school, or, you know, like that's going to take too much work, or, you know, I'm too old or whatever. But I would rather you start over in something that you're supposed to be in than just be miserable, you know, doing something that you're not. When you are in your purpose, then, you know, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like
it just flows.
It flows. What are some like personal experience that you had when it comes to like planning your vision, and what did that look like for you?
Now my own personal testimony is I know that it works because I didn't even realize that for years I had been writing stuff down and it would come to pass. So I cut out certain pictures of things that I wanted to accomplish that year. There were some things that I placed on there that I personally would not have ever put, so to speak. But there were things that I was led to put on there. Me doing more public speaking. Once the person gets to know me, I'm a very personable person. But I'm actually
go ahead.
I'm actually very reserved. Something that I had written down that I wanted to be the class speaker when I was in Bible college, and it wasn't anything that I shared. I just wrote it in a notebook that I would be the class speaker for that particular class. So when I graduated with my doctorate in 2019, I was called and asked to be the class speaker.
Wow.
So that was the first time. It wasn't my first time speaking, but that was my first time doing on a larger scale of public speaking. Because there I was on this stage in front of more than 5,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And actually, that's what I talked about. I actually talked about the importance of vision. Some people call them dreams. I shared how God had given me a dream in like 1998, 1999, where I was dressed in all black and I was standing before this crowd. It doesn't matter if it takes 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, we allow ourselves to be led, then we'll ultimately end up where we're supposed to be. If you have something that is weighing on your heart all the time, in an area that you may be passionate about, you may want to pursue that. Whatever it is that keeps tugging at you, pursue it, because that's vision.
So is it fair to say, for people to write down their interests, what they're good at, but also like what is like your burden, what keeps tugging at you, like what bothers you to make, to want to make a change? And it doesn't even have to be anything like major. Like you could be a churchgoer who sits in the audience, but when the choir sings all the time, it bothers you because they sing it out of tune, where you may be called to be in the choir.
Right.
I hear you saying it's like God will give you snapshots sometime. Of like, he'll give you the vision, he'll give you an idea. So, think back of things that, you thought of that you were like, oh, whoa, I wouldn't do that, but it could be God that's like nudging you and showing you a snapshot of your future.
As odd as it may seem, sometimes we have to revisit our past.
Yes.
Something that we were good at, or something that we explored when we were in elementary, middle, high school, college. It may be there.
Yep.
And we got away from it. Yep. When I was a kid growing up, whenever people came to the house, I wanted to play teacher. We had to play school. We were playing two things. We were playing school, or we were playing church. And I had to be the teacher, and I had to be the
your only two options for your friends was school and church.
That was it.
Well, see, God had already put it in you.
Me writing. Writing is something that I've always done. I did it in high school. I used to write for the high school paper. When I first got back into church, I started doing I did like a newspaper for church, a newsletter for church. But now that I'm trying to write this book, it's like, okay, I know I don't have writer's block, but I just have to discipline myself to actually write it. And every time I talk about this, I'm so ashamed but I know that it's going to come because I've been writing this book for the past 10 years.
So then we're going to hold you accountable. So Dr. Jehane Draper is going to have a book coming out in the next coming years, possibly months. It's going to be released in Jesus' name. So we're going to have to hit her up and ask her, where's the book, sis? It's deeper than just a vision board. It's deeper than, I'm writing a plan. It's a spiritual principle. So can you share, like on the spiritual end, like the importance and the impact of like vision and planning? What does the Bible say about?
Let's see. The Bible in Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision and make it plain. And then in Jeremiah 29:11, it says, for I know the plans, this is God talking. He says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So God's plans for us is to prosper. That's the word. It's important for us to be led by God, spiritually speaking. It's important for us to not be fleshly, because there are a lot of things that we want to do. The word says that many are the plans of man, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. We have plans to do this, we have plans to do that, and the next thing you know, we do that, but then we don't have peace in doing it.
I would say also there's power in words, so you have to be careful what you write and also what you say.
What you say, because the word says that you should have whatsoever you say. It's important for us to be mindful of who it is that we're sharing our visions with, because people are the enemy. I'll say the enemy is so crafty at times. Sometimes he'll use a word of discouragement from somebody that's close, any little thing that will get us off track. Like, you want to do that?
Yep.
you're gonna have to pay all this, so that's gonna be a whole lot. One of the things that I want to do, I want to. Well, I'm gonna say it. One of the things that I want to do, I don't know if I still want to do, but I'm gonna say that I wanted to do, and I may do it. I don't know, but I wanted to go to law school because I feel like I would be a good lawyer. I feel like I'd be a good judge. I'm like, oh, that's gonna take so long.
Right. I can see it. I can see you being an attorney.
And now for that right there, that wasn't even a person discouraging me. That was me in my own head.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's gonna take so long.
Yeah. And we kill our dreams a lot of times before people even get a chance to.
Yes.
We outthink it. You know, we get an idea, and you know, and I'll say even for myself, I'm a thinker, I'm an analyzer. I'll analyze it to death.
Yes.
I do. I'm an overthinker. I'm gonna plan. See, I overplan. It's like, that's enough. Like, that's God for me. Like, ma'am, he taps me on my shoulder. Ma'am, that's enough. Like, how there's not that many details. And I think a lot of times though, that's a trick of the enemy to get us stuck and caught up into our own way. So that's something we definitely want to be mindful of, you know, distractions on the outside, but also internally, you know, we put things out, being careful who we talk to, also finding safe spaces to put it out there so that someone could be accountable and could really encourage you to your vision, because keeping it to yourself, you know, like right now with the book, I'm going to be on you about this book because I'm curious now, because once it's in the atmosphere, it's like, okay, now you know, there's sometimes I've done things where I like intentionally told a few people, it's like, okay, I'm letting you know because I need you to hold me accountable. I really want you to tell the people where they can contact you at, and a little bit about like the vision workshops that you do, so that they can book you.
I'm Jehane Draper on Facebook. If you're friends with Eliza, then I'm her Facebook friend as well. You're also free to reach me at 225-288-6525. Once again, that's 225-288-6525. And I'll be happy to come out and teach a vision workshop. And
today was, you know, just really a snippet of, you know, just your knowledge and your insight on vision. The workshop, you know, definitely goes a lot more into detail. You know, what I like a lot about what you offer is that it's just not about planning, you know, creating a plan. You know, you go really deep into, you know, the spiritual side of it, which is really the foundation. Contact her, you know, if you can't get through to her, contact me and let me know, and I'll get you connected. If you want her to come out to your events or church or conference or whatever, and you know,
like 101. I'm the type of teacher. I'm not moved by crowds. If I can help one person, I'm gonna help one person. But it can be one, it could be 10,000.
There you go.
I'm just a willing vessel.
We know she speaks to thousands of people, you know. 101, small groups, big groups, large crowds. You know, she's a very good person to contact, and she is again in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So thank you so much, Jehane. I really appreciate this conversation. Thank you so much for your insight and all the work that you do, you know, with your church and also with the service that you provide. I will see you guys next time on our next interview.
Love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.